Good morning and happy Saturday, everyone. So I had a very interesting day yesterday. I mean, honestly, I really thought of what I was gonna do, and it's one of those days where I took chances, and they paid off greatly. First off, let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. I would still say that my allergies are still kind of getting to me a little bit, but I actually took a loratadine before I started this video, so I'm doing good at the moment. My high is pretty much everything else I did, which I will get into. And my act of kindness, I know I held the door for several people. I also know that I picked up someone's napkin on the floor and brought it back to him. I'll get to that. I'll get to the context of that momentarily. But first things first, I saw a movie yesterday. Here's the thing. You know, it's funny. I'm trying to think of the last Pixar movie I saw in the theater. It was Inside Out 2. And I'm like, I did see, you know what? Honestly, after seeing that and Win or Lose, I need to see another Pixar movie again. And so I saw the movie Elio. It was darn good. I obviously need a further explanation. Basically, okay, I couldn't really talk about this movie without talking about one of my favorite, internet meme-related things ever. Which is, whenever, the main character of a movie is, living with, their aunt, or living by themselves, or a relative, or whatever. In this case, it was an aunt. One of my favorite things ever is whenever anyone on the internet says, "Your parents are dead." That's literally how this movie starts off with, the audience knowing that his parents died. Okay. Actually, I need to give this movie credit where credit's due. There are some moments where, unless you have a truly sadistic sense of humor, you're not really going to get it. There are moments in this movie that are shot like a horror film. I don't want to give away what they are just yet. Or I don't think I will. If you couldn't tell, I really do like this movie. But there's some really good lessons in this movie that you can learn. One of the big ones is, be honest with not just the people around you, but yourself. Communication is key. Family is who and what you make of it. And there is always a capacity for change. This movie, it's literally about a kid who hears that, we may not be alone in the universe. And this group of aliens called the Communiverse, which I like Community and Universe. I actually like that name. And, he is doing all he can to, get into, space and, trying, aliens, abduct me. He literally will go to the beach, dry out and say, "Aliens, please abduct me." And lay in the ground like this for hours and hours and hours at a time. Just waiting for the aliens to come and find him. I actually do kind of like how this movie plays with historical fiction. They technically did this in The Good Dinosaur where they asked what would happen if the meteor never hit and wiped out all the dinosaurs. In this movie, it's what would happen if life out there actually did find Voyager, which is the spacecraft that we sent out to see if there is other life in the universe. And it turns out Voyager was found, and the Communiverse essentially replays the message that we have on our golden disc. It's basically, greetings from the planet Earth, but spoken in several different languages, so that basically any life out there would understand that Earth has an abundance of life and, different kinds of people with different kinds of languages. Like, I knew what Voyager was, but Pixar did a great job of simplifying what it is in a way where it doesn't talk down on anyone who wouldn't know. Pixar's always been really good about that. And yeah, they show the scene in the movie, like doing the trailer, like, this is the most beautiful place I've ever seen in all my life. This is the bathroom. I mean, listen, it's still a kid's movie. You gotta have, a bathroom joke. And it's funny, I saw my parents yesterday. I met them for dinner. And, because here's the thing. Obviously, my parents would love to take my nephews to see a movie, but, my brother won't let them do that. And, it's gotta be G if you're gonna take them. Nothing's ever G anymore. Seriously, what's the last legit G-rated movie that's ever came out? Seriously, Elio, for as great of a movie it is rated PG. I mean, I know why it's PG. And I was talking to someone with my parents, because my dad was asked this too, it's because that there are some adult-related jokes that, some people aren't going to pick up on. And my dad's like, okay, I grew up watching Bugs Bunny. Those cartoons were loaded with adult jokes. Well, it's a different time, man. I don't know what to tell you. But, the animation, the character design, listen, it's Pixar. They pretty much is like Chef's Kiss. It's Chef's Kiss level of good. Who's going to complain about the animation? And actually, one lesson that it really does teach. Well, technically, I mentioned several lessons earlier. Two more lessons it teaches is, no matter where you go in life, there's always going to be problems that you have to go through. There are. Elio pretended that he was the leader and therefore ambassador of Earth, so he has to be the one to take care of the conflict involved in the movie. But Elio's just a kid. He doesn't know that. But at the same time, he didn't really give his life on Earth a chance because, his parents are dead, so he has to live with his aunt who he thinks doesn't understand him. Which, I get it. The sacrifices that the aunt, who's voiced by Zoe Saldana, I didn't know that, by the way. Zoe Saldana is really good in this movie. The sacrifices that she made just so she could raise Elio, that really is love. That, you would need an entire universe itself to quantify just what it is. And in a way they do kind of do that here. And I love, because obviously when the Communiverse sends the Voyager's message back and they want to respond, Elio is the one who sneaks in, records the message, and he says, I love you, bye. And so everyone, whenever they say goodbye in the Communiverse, as they say on Earth, okay, love you, bye. That's charming and adorable, and I love that. That's just, this movie's really good. It is. If you want something to watch with, because actually, here's the thing. I mentioned my parents earlier. I actually wound up seeing my sister-in-law with one of my nephews. They were walking around the mall. And it turns out my twin nephews and my brother were watching How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, I hear it's getting pretty good reviews, but I can genuinely tell you that Elio is the better movie. It is so... Well, I mean, I get why, because I actually saw the 3:30 showing, and my nephews would be in bed at 3:30. Oh, taking their afternoon nap, of course. So, yeah. It's crazy. You know, it's I mean, it's a great movie. I mean, I honestly had no idea. I forgot it was playing until yesterday morning. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll go see it. And I did. And I'm glad. And if you think that's great, wait till you know what I did after. I went to see a jazz concert playing at Illegal Taphouse. But I didn't just see anyone. Oh no. Scott Mayo was playing. You don't know who Scott Mayo is? Well, that's why I got my notes right here. Grammy-nominated music producer, composer, music director, and arranger, singer, saxophonist, flautist, and recording artist. That guy was playing at Illegal Taphouse last night. He's also been nominated, for many works across many genres as a producer. And who he's worked with? Well, let's see who he's worked with, shall we? He has worked with John Legend, Oleta Adams, Sergio Mendes, Beyonce, Sir Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen, rest in peace, boss, Bruno Mars, Jay-Z, I don't know if that's what I want, Mick Jagger, Dr. Dre, Lizzo, Stevie Wonder, Carrie Underwood, Blake Shelton, Neil Young. And for more than 6 years, he and his saxophone toured with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And he's also recorded 3 solo albums, impressed a lot of TV and film credits as a composer and performer, including Dancing with the Stars, American Idol, The Voice, and numerous shows on Amazon, Netflix, Apple TV, and Nickelodeon. So, this guy's gotten around. And he was playing last night at Illegal Taphouse. And on top of all that, he's an upstate New Yorker. He's from the city of Rochester, which he's been inducted into the Rochester Music Hall of Fame. So to say that this man is a pedigree, kind of an understatement. I mean, just watching this man play a saxophone alone is enough to if this guy was in the movie Sinners, the vampires would be going after him with a saxophone. That's how good this guy is. But man, and the band that he was with, they pretty much all met each other, days before this concert last night. So really, all of the music that they played, you would think they'd been together for a long time. Well, actually, several of them have known each other for a long time, but it was the first time Scott Mayo really got to know any of them. So, on top of the many talents that Scott Mayo has, it's very clear he's an amazing improviser. Because, he's able to work with people he never worked with before last night, which is awesome. Seriously, if you ever have an opportunity to see Scott Mayo, you do it. You would not regret going. It really is an experience you need to see in person. And honestly, he's really chill. Yeah, he's talking to the audience, making us laugh, And his talents were, for what he was doing, was phenomenal. I mean, I mentioned that he worked with Stevie Wonder earlier. He was doing a couple Stevie Wonder songs on top of everything else he did. Oh, man, it was such a great show. And literally the icing on this already delicious piece of cake was, it really was a beautiful day outside. So the concert was outdoors on Illegal's back patio. Which, I mean, come on. You know, the potential to get dinner at Illegal's Taphouse with the show and a view? How do you beat that? The answer is you can't. Oh man, this was such a great show. It was. Like, I can tell people now I got to see Scott Mayo. And I can't wait to, I mean, because everything that was going on last night was all for funding Jazz Fest, which is going to be later in August. If Scott Mayo comes back for Jazz Fest, I am so there. I am so totally there. Because actually, I think I just might be able to go to that too. Cool. But yes, really and truly, if you ever have an opportunity to go see Scott Mayo perform, like, do it. You're going to be in for a real treat. And whoever he's playing with, whatever songs he does, you will be thoroughly entertained. I know I certainly was. And on top of that, I got to see people that, you know, I'm very glad I know and I can call friend, which is awesome. I mean, man, like, people wonder, like, what it takes to have a good Friday. This was a good Friday. Ah, man, such a great day. So, to Scott Mayo, you are awesome. But if you are watching this, you're awesome. I'm so glad I got to see you perform last night. The good folks at Illegal Taphouse. I mean, what can I say I haven't said already? You guys are awesome. Thanks for putting on this venue. Thanks for putting on this show. Yeah. And you know, to the good people at Pixar, congratulations. You knocked it out of the park again with Elio. Man, it was such a great day yesterday. I hope you all like this video. Like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble. So, for all of you guys watching the show today, hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, when you guys want to talk shows, review the land, back, take care, and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.